In today's episode, I catch up with a great friend of mine, Victor Wong, who is a humble running machine. With a run streak of over 3,000 consecutive days, Victor prioritises his health and fitness and is a great example for others that we can all move more to be healthier and happier. As a personal trainer, Victor has a passion for helping others to be more active. What I admire most about Vic is he is an everyday person who works full time, yet he is doing something extraordinary. Even though he hates when I say that.
If you really want to do it, put your mind to it, you can achieve it.
I love his humility and I love how he is driven by the growth of the people closest to him, like his partner Michelle and other friends who have supported him through his run streak. Join me as we delve into Victor's inspiring story. Welcome back to the First 42K podcast, and today I'm sitting with my friend Victor Wong. Vic, welcome.
Hi Sean. Hello there.
Great to have you on, Vic.
Thanks. Nice being here.
So, Vic, I asked you before when I walked in, this is at your apartment today, so thanks for hosting. But I said, have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, this is my first one.
First podcast. Well, it's awesome to host you, as I said. I think to give people context, we met back in 2019. It was in my Jog for Joey campaign, which was my first ever big charity campaign with my running, the 50 marathons in 50 days. And you came, it was day 23. I was running around the 10. Little did I know that after that, you were going to run with me 15 out of the next 27 days.
I didn't know that either. No. Yeah.
How did you hear about it? Do you remember?
It was on Facebook. I was just going through Facebook and I saw one of your posts, and I said, I think I might join you on day 3 or 4. And I delayed it for a few days, and said, this is the day. So, what day? Day 23.
Day 23.
Yeah. I rode my bike down to the Tan, and I think it was 8 o'clock that morning. I was 1 or 2 minutes late, and I saw you and a couple of friends, and you were actually taking off when I was locking up my bike, and I actually said, "Are you Sean?" And he said, "Yeah." And from there on,
that's awesome.
That was February.
Yeah, would have been or late January 2019.
2019.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we've developed a strong friendship since then. As I mentioned, 15 days after that. So one thing that I did throughout that 50 marathons in 50 days campaign was really encourage other people to run with me, and they could do as little or as much as they like. You ran up to a half marathon distance on a few days with me, but it was always a minimum 5Ks a day. So one thing that I've learned, which is the main reason I've got you on the podcast, because I think it's extraordinary to have such a running streak, is that you have run a minimum of 5 kilometers a day for over 3,000 days. In fact, let's just say it. When I was walking in here today, I grabbed my phone and I said, "Hey Siri, how many days since January 1, 2015? And Siri told me 3,156 days ago. So you've run a minimum of 5Ks a day and done 100 push-ups, sit-ups and squats since Jan 1, 2015.
I have achieved that. I actually started off in December 2014.
Yeah.
I went for a run. I was always an active person. I always ran and participated in sport. Late 2014, December, I went for a run. I thought my legs were very, very heavy. So on the 1st of January 2015, I went for a 1 kilometre run. Decided to do 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20 squats. Oh, it felt good. So I ran another kilometre, another 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20 squats. 5 times in that day, within that hour. That equates to 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 5 kilometres. Day 2, 2nd of January, I continued, and I've done it every day, hell, rain, shine, birthday, Christmas, on holidays, and so I've done that for the last,
3,156 days.
56 days, yeah. And I've had a lot of people join me since then, including yourself. We've done it in Perth, we've done it many times in Melbourne, and during your journey as well, from Cairns to Melbourne, we've done it.
Yes, we have.
And yes.
We actually have the Cairns to Melbourne documentary coming out very soon, and there is a little snippet within that documentary where you and I are doing the squats and the push-ups. So even during my Cairns to Melbourne adventure, I thought, you've come all this way to Sydney which is a story in itself. You surprised me there. You were over in the US. And I remember thinking, like, you were asking for updates, and a lot of people were asking for updates. Where are you running, Sean? And you messaged me on Messenger. I see it pop up on my phone when I'm running. It said, where exactly are you right now? And I said back, why do you care? You're in the US. And then you called me on Messenger and said, turn around. And there's you running with about, I want to say 50 donuts.
There was a lot of donuts there, yeah. Yeah, I planned that actually before we left. I left for the US, and I knew you were around about New South Wales-ish, southern New South Wales, and Michelle and I decided, we'll surprise you, and I think we're in, where was it? Just outside Sydney.
Yeah, it was just around Newcastle area.
Newcastle, yeah. And just to spot you running and hiding until we found the right position to surprise you. That was fun. We got that on video too.
Yeah, it was awesome, mate. So grateful for that. I loved it, and I think that, as I mentioned, that's why the least I could do was a few extra squats on some heavy legs when you showed up. But to go back to your 3,156, because that's extraordinary. I think there's many days where we don't want to go for a run, and you obviously just have that within you to push through and find a way. Was it really that you got to that point? I know you mentioned late 2014 in December when you said you went for a run, heavy legs. You didn't. Was it more than that though? Was it like you don't feel like you're fit enough? You just weren't happy with where you were in your own life, and you said, I'm going to do something about this.
Yes. During that run, I've always done, like I said, I've always done something active, and I wasn't a member of the gym, so I didn't participate in any activities in the gym. By running, squat, sit-ups, and all those activities, you don't require a gym. It's free to do. You can do it anytime. Mm-hmm. You can do it midnight. You can do it anytime. But to keep my fitness up and being my age, I need to get that motivation and push myself. So no, hell, rain or shine, as I mentioned, I still continue on.
It's unreal.
So, yeah.
All right, this might be a tough question, but what's your favourite out of the push-ups, sit-ups and squats?
Probably the easiest, probably sit-ups.
I didn't say the easiest, I said your favourite.
Oh, the favourite. Running with people.
Yeah.
Like yourself, with friends.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a chat. That's my favourite part, running with my partner Michelle to motivate her, and she's done a lot as well over the last few years. But my favourite is running with people.
Incredible. Well, it's been super fun. I think I joined you on day 2,000 and day 3,000.
Yes, you
and
did.
I said, Vic, I look forward to day 5,000. Whenever that is, you got to keep going.
I think day 4,000, I think it's December the 9th, 2025. So keep that free.
He's already got it mapped out. That's awesome. Well, I love that. That's, just pushing through every single day. You mentioned that we did one together in Perth. That was late 2019. So you invited me to a camp with Commando Steve. So if anyone watched The Biggest Loser show back in the day, Commando Steve, the personal trainer, Victor had been on a couple of his camps, and he said, look, I'm looking for a friend to come with me. Sean, do you want to go to Perth? Let's do it. Victor and I are pretty competitive, and there was like Commando would split you up into two teams, and he said to me, "Do you want to be on Victor's team?" I said, "Absolutely not. I want to be against Victor." And there was one final challenge where basically it was like noughts and crosses or tic-tac-toe with you're holding a weight plate. You have to run, and your team, you had to set either the cross or the nought. But basically you had to run out and you had to verse each other. So you're racing, running the weights, dropping it off. And on the way back, Victor's trying to run out there, and I'm just putting the block on, just holding him off.
The shepherd.
It was just like bumper bars with footy, just holding him away. And then he rolled his ankle. So I felt pretty terrible. However, I think, who won that challenge?
I did, by that much. Yeah,
okay,
it wasn't by a lot. Yeah.
I was gonna say I felt terrible about your ankle, which we're gonna talk about, but we won the challenge. But turns out you won the challenge anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think I went to Commando.
It wasn't myself. It was the whole team. There's groups, I think 5 or 6, and there's about 5 or 6 teams, and the winner would continue on to the next round. And,
Pretty sure that our team went to commando and said that Vic's team cheated. But anyway, so you rolled your ankle, and it was a balloon. It was black, it was purple, it was all the colours. I was there, I saw it, and you're in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And you said the next day, we're still going out there and we're still getting it done.
Yeah, that was day, I can't remember, it was late 1000, early 2000. I didn't want to stop the run from my I call it 365 challenge, being 365 being every day challenge. I didn't want to stop the streak, so I kept on going. We ran around my sister's neighbourhood in Subiaco, and, up and down the hills around the park and all that. It was still slow going.
Yeah, it was grimacing.
But we still managed. It was hot. It was like late 30 degrees or so. And thank you for slowing down to keep up with me as well. And injuries or not, knee problems, sprained ankles, shoulder problems. I've dislocated my shoulder a couple of times, but I still managed to squeeze it in there. So that Perth one was a bit of a challenge. It was hot, but it was still worth it.
Absolutely. You've had other challenges as well. So we referenced the ankle. Obviously, over 3,156 days. Would have been sick at times as well.
Yeah. Caught COVID.
Yeah.
It was actually about 18 months ago, last year. Here in this apartment, I was locked in this apartment for 7 days, isolating. I still managed to do my 365 challenge from the front door, through the kitchen, through the bedroom, out on the balcony, through here. 39 circuits equals 1 kilometre. So with the push-ups, steps and squats, it's equate to 195 circuits around this apartment equals 5 kilometres. So I still managed to do that.
Still managed to get it done.
During COVID and sickness. I had the flu about a month ago, and I still managed to squeeze it in.
It's unreal. So it's minimum 5Ks a day, but you can do more than that. I referenced how during the 50 and 50 you were joining me for a half marathon most days as well. Obviously, it's something that you've just built incredible routine around. Is it something that you like to do first thing in the morning or later in the day?
I work during the afternoons. I work in a gymnasium at a well-known supermarket chain. When it's quiet during the day, I manage to do it on the treadmill, so that still counts on the treadmill. If I've got a busy day, I'm working 17 hours a day, I try and do it early in the morning to get it over and done with. So I don't have to think about it during the evening. So at times when I've got a busy day, I'm working 16 hours. With my sports I do on the weekend, if I know I've got a game on at 8 in the morning, and I sometimes get up at midnight to do this 365 challenge. If you count that as that same day midnight,
absolutely.
I start at 12 and finish 1:45 in the morning, go back to sleep. That counts as that morning, that day.
That's unreal.
I still managed to squeeze that one in.
So, and what you were referencing there is umpiring, AFL umpiring. So you're doing a couple of games on the Saturday usually?
I do about two games on a weekend.
So you're running a lot on the Saturday plus that, the 5Ks minimum. I love that.
I've cut the umpiring down to 2 games a weekend now. Last year was three games a day, 3 games, including the schoolboy umpiring, then the VAFA, as well as my running in between or in the morning or before, just after midnight.
It's unreal. I love that you get up at midnight and get it done as well. What would be the biggest lesson you've learnt through all of this? I know it's a tough question, but is there anything that stands out?
If you really want to do it, put your mind to it, you can achieve it. With the last, it's just on 8.5 years through this running. If you really set your mind to it, you achieve it. I get questions, do it tomorrow, miss a day, you're sore. I'm very stubborn, and I actually push through it and manage to do it. If I don't do it in one set, I might do 2 sets in the morning and 3 sets at night to finish off my set. But very, very persistent. Achieve it. Like you say, chase your dreams. My dream's never ending. It's always the next day.
Absolutely.
Victor, when you're going to finish? I know you suggested a couple of months ago, you said to me, just stop doing it and do burpees instead. Not the same. It's not the same. If you want to join me for the burpees, you're more than welcome to, Sean.
No. Look, I think that for me, where I said that, if I said that, I actually don't even recall that, but I probably did say that more so meaning I would find it so hard doing the same training every single day. That's a question. How do you, I guess, navigate through that? Are you just so used to it that it is what it is? Yes. Or do you still find it challenging doing the same workout every day?
It is challenging. It's finding the time when you've got a busy day with family and friends, meeting up with people, working in the gym, and all that. But it is challenging, but it's satisfying for me. Once I've completed for the day, I feel very good, and it's a relief. The day's over. Yeah, I've done it. Oh, next day, go do it all over again.
So you are just taking it one day at a time.
One day at a time. As to when I'm going to stop, injuries, age, I don't know until I've had enough.
Well, we had a guest on the podcast, Brian Upton, who is 71 years old, cancer survivor, who's run 7 marathons in 7 days. So age, I don't think you're 71, Vic. You got plenty of time ahead of you to keep going.
I've got a few years here.
No, it's awesome. It's incredible what you're doing. And I love that message as well, what you've said to other people there. Like, if you think you can do it, then you can absolutely achieve it. It all starts with that belief. Mm-hmm. But also, you've set that goal, but it's just that consistent action every single day and surrounding yourself with people who will push you. If anything, that comment from me would have been like, I want you to do 100 burpees on top of what you're doing. So that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just also with other people. Like I said, you've run with me. I've had neighbours run with me. I've had work people. I've had family run with me. And they also motivate me to go even further and a little bit faster. Yeah. But of course I can't catch you because you run too fast. But for example, my partner Michelle, when I first met her a few years ago, she couldn't even run 50 metres. Now she's running 11, 12 kilometres.
Amazing.
When she ran with you over the Sydney Harbour Bridge around Opera House during Sydney last year, that's the most she's ever run. 11 kilometres, she was so proud of that. So thanks to you as well, we've achieved other people too.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. Like, that's why I think even back to the 50 and 50, it was seeing other people achieve their goals. And it really inspires you because it's challenging, whether it's the 50 and 50 for me or the 365 challenge that you're doing every single day. You're focused on you and what you've got to do. And you then look around you and you're like, well, you were never running like this and now you are. Yes. And it's taking in those things.
And I've had people do it around the world. They followed the post I put up every few months. Said, wow, I'm going to do that. So I've had people in the States and in Europe actually do a few, not every day, but they might run 2 kilometres and do 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20 squats, which is an achievement in itself. Absolutely. Someone who's never done it before, even to start to run 500 metres and 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats is a start.
Definitely.
So anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Anytime.
For sure. Just breaking it down, making it achievable. I love it. No, very true. So were you always a runner? I know you referenced that you've been doing it, obviously for the last 8.5 years or so. But take me back. I know, like, your upbringing, that sort of thing. Were you always a runner growing up?
I grew up in Flemington, in the Flemington Flats, back in the early 70s. Now you're going to work out my age. I started in little athletics when I was 5 or 6 years old, a place called Debney Park, which is in Flemington. And I'm still in contact with the people I ran with in little athletics back in the early 70s. I'm still running. They've stopped. I was doing high jumps, long distance and 1500s, 800s. So I started off when I was young. And that continued on, playing football, playing a bit of cricket and all that. And I've always been quite active in playing football for Q Football Club for 15 seasons, then went to Chadstone for 15 seasons. Still continue on involvement with the amateurs. So, I'm still up and running.
You played 30 years of senior footy.
Yes. Yeah.
Incredible. So
I know you stopped it when you were 21. And,
how many? No, I stopped it even younger. I think I stopped footy at 20.
Yeah,
so
you were captain of
the under 19s, which I mean is pretty funny. I think I turned 20 in the year that I was the captain of the under 19s. So
and you stopped after that.
I stopped after that.
So
Yeah,
I'm hungry. Once you win a grand final premiership, you want to chase more.
Yeah.
That's why I continued on. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to win a premiership next year, the following year. It's also been with your school, your teammates and the camaraderie and. Which I enjoy being around with a group of people.
Yeah, that mateship that comes from footy or any team sport, for that matter, is incredible.
Mm.
So how many premierships across 30 years?
2. I captained a premiership side for Q Reserves back in 1987. There was tough following years with the influx of new players. Then I went to Chadstone, won a premiership there as well.
Awesome.
So I've won 2, but I missed out another 2 or 3 in that time.
Okay, wow. And no significant injuries throughout your footy career?
I was knocked out once, knocked out cold.
Yeah.
A king hit when I was chasing the ball. All in brawl, followed after that.
Wow.
I was captain and teammates really look after you in that time. And being small, I wasn't aware of it, but I was knocked out and I was... I didn't know what was going on, but apparently someone told me there was all in brawl and was picking me up. I woke up in the ambulance. That was probably the biggest injury. I had dislocated shoulders, sprained ankles, and
For 30 years though, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, I still miss the game now. Sometimes I watch the game and I still want to participate and go Blues and the like. I had to squeeze that one in.
Vic said at the start, "Can I wear my Carlton jumper on the podcast?" I said, "Absolutely not." And prior to that, I said, "You can wear whatever you like." He said, "All right, I'm going to get my Carlton jumper." I said, "No, you can't wear that."
Still sitting there, quite handy, it's reaching distance. Yeah, on a roll. Come on,
You are on a roll.
Yeah,
Nine
nothing to
wins.
brag about since 1995. So I might as well squeeze that in.
It's fair enough. Yeah. Nine wins in a row. If it was Richmond, I'd be doing the same. No, for sure.
There you go.
So one question that I always ask our guests on the podcast is, tell us about your first 42K. Tell me about your first marathon. I know you've run 2 marathons in your time. How was that first marathon experience for you?
Very, very tough.
Yeah.
Being so young, I think I was in my late teens, I think 18 or 19. Those days, the marathons were called the Big M Marathon. There was from Frankston to along the what's that road called? Beaconsfield Parade, all the way to the National Tennis Centre or the Arts Centre. 42Ks. The first one was very, very tough. I thought I was bigger than everything else. No training, nothing. It took me 5.5 hours to run. Cramps in the leg, sore. I hit the wall 4 hours in, and when I got to the end, I think everything all packed up and all the organisers were gone. Like that, as I think a few people there to greet me at the end. But that was tough.
So after that experience, were you then driven to go, let's do it again, do it better?
I did it again. The Big Air Marathon the following year. This could have been 1983 at the time. I improved my time by about 20 minutes. And since then, I said, never again. I've done half marathons. I've done little ones. Since then, 21 and a half, 21s, a few 20s, but nothing as big as the Big Air Marathon or the 42.195. Never again.
Never again.
I know you've encouraged me to do it.
You've
asked me to do the ultra marathons in Bali, but I think I think I've given that up.
I'm going to keep encouraging you on the 42K though, because I think that there is a process, and if you didn't train really at all for it, obviously then you're going to have a tough experience if you go into it without training, but also how you train leading into it as well. And I think, I spoke about Brian before, 71 years old, running the 7 marathons in 7 days.
Big achievement.
It's massive. Yeah. And so it's not, obviously I would only encourage you if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. But I think it's to show people that, hey, don't use age as an excuse. Brian's out there showing us that we can all do it. And you're showing us every single day with the 365 as well. So, it's incredible, mate. If someone's looking to get into exercise, so maybe they're in their early teens, maybe they're through to later years as an adult, but they're not into their exercise. What would be your advice for them?
Start off slow. Start off with a slow jog. Yep. Maybe run that 400 metres, 500 metres. Over the weeks, increase it by 100 metres.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how far you go within a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Like I mentioned, Michelle, she couldn't run the first couple of months when I met her. Mm-hmm. Now she's running 5-6 kilometres a day. She's improved every week. As the weeks go on, she's increased that distance, and now she's hooked on it.
That's amazing.
I run with her every weekend, and she loves it. And she's got all the gear. When I say to Michelle, let's go this way, she goes, no, let's go the long way. Let's go this way. Now she's pushing me.
Yes.
So yeah, anyone can start at any age, any time. There's no barrier. Even people that haven't run before, start off slow, increase it by a little bit every couple of weeks.
If people want to follow your running, can they do so on Strava as well?
Strava? Not on Strava.
Not on Strava.
I'm on Strava. I don't use it a lot.
Okay.
But Facebook, I only put it up every couple of months. People are not. They don't want to see me run push-ups every week.
Every day.
Yeah, every day, and talk about it. So every couple of months I might put something up there.
You just let them know.
The last one was the 19th of March 2023. On my 3,000th consecutive day, that's when you were there.
That's massive.
As well. And on those achievements, I invite people to join me on my milestone. So the next one could be my 3,500th day, which
massive.
May happen in 2 years or so.
Yeah, huge. Well, I've already locked in December 9th, 2025. I'm there for day 4,000, Vic. So, mate, it's been incredible to have you on for a chat. Thanks so much for jumping on, and I hope that you've inspired our audience. I'm sure you would have. It's huge for you to just commit to that every single day. As you said, rain, hail or shine, rolled ankles, illness, you get out there and you get it done, and you show others that they can as well.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invite. One thing I've always run with you, when you have something on around Cairns to Melbourne, or your 50 and 50 or your 24 hours, I always end up with this, and present, and that's Sean's favourite. That's what motivates him. That's for you.
Thanks, mate. Yes, Vic, he's a man who loves his donuts almost as much as me, but not quite. And that's why he turned up in in Sydney, or Newcastle, I should say, with 50 donuts for me. You'll see that in the documentary that's coming soon. It was very funny. And yeah, he always just, I'm not even surprised now to receive these donuts, because it's just he always gifting them, which is incredibly kind.
I think I've given you at least nearly 200 donuts.
I want to say more. I want to say 500 in my time.
In the hospitality, remember I had that big tray of donuts, and
I
think you took it on when I think they were gone by within the 3 days. Those 40 donuts. So.
Yeah, I think we're working up to nearly 1,000 donuts, mate. Thanks again. Been unreal.
Thank you very much.
Thanks Vic.
Sean.
What an inspiring human Vic is. I had a laugh with him after we stopped recording, because I said to him, I never told you to stop your 365 challenge. That would be so against me and my values, to tell someone to stop doing something they love and stop chasing their dreams. And he said, no, you didn't tell me to stop. You told me to change the push-ups for the burpees, because you said that I'm doing the push-ups too easy. Well, that does sound about right. Vic is a go-getter, and as much as we joked around together throughout our conversation, I really hope you took 1 or 2 pieces of gold from Vic, and he inspires you to move more in your own life, however that looks for you. Let's hope that Carlton don't win the 2023 AFL Premiership, because I'll never hear the end of it. We hope that you loved this episode, and if you did, please leave a review and share it with others. Did you know that you can train with us at First 42K for as little as $9.95 per week? Whether your goal is to run your first marathon, PB your next 10km race, or even run your first 100-mile ultra, you can unlock a 2-week free trial to our premium, pro, or club memberships at first42k.com.au. I'd like to thank our partner, HGG Performance, for providing the podcast space. HGG Performance manufacture strength and rehabilitation equipment, which is hugely beneficial for runners looking to improve performance and prevent injury. Use the code FIRST42K for 10% off their products. Until next time, live happy and run strong.